This was the goal for you, bringing a regional to Lexington. You've done that now. Just what are the feelings like?
Pumped up, ready to roll. We all were excited when we heard our name called, and especially last night, getting to host at this special place. So we're pumped and ready to roll.
The season that you guys have had has earned you a 12 seed. Just when did you know? Devin said he knew back in the fall. When did you know this team had the ability to be a regional host?
A regional host, I'd say I had to see a little more. Man, that first weekend against Mississippi State of SEC play, that Friday night win we had, I think Kentucky was playing in the NCAA tournament for basketball that night. It was about 28 degrees. Freeze, like there weren't many people here, and we pulled off a really gritty win. And I would say that Friday night, first game of the SEC play, I was like, this team's different. Teams don't win that type of game in the cold against a really good team without being one of the top teams in the country. So I'd say that night.
Darren, there's so much talk before the season of getting back from the tournament and hosting a regional. How do you all guard against celebrating that but not being complacent and still wanting to get there?
If you're an athlete in the SEC, especially the older guys that we have, you don't get complacent. We don't want to just be here. We want to win this thing, and that takes winning it this weekend, and that takes going out there and beating Ball State game one. So the attention's turned off from hosting a regional. Are we going to host? We're going to Ball State.
And you would prefer to have that early game, right? Not have to wait around.
Man, you got so many older dudes out there. This is going to be my first regional. I don't care. We'll play at 9 a.m. in the morning. I'll be out there playing. I'll be ready to roll. I'll have my energy drink crushed. And I'll be rolling. We'll be ready.
What's it mean to you, just to play so many years college baseball and have this kind of at the end of the tunnel for you?
Man, it's taken a lot of work. You look back at all the 6 a.m. workouts and all the fall practices and coming back from the injury, and it's all worth it, right now. And I'm pumped to get to be a part of it.
You mentioned after the loss in Hoover that you guys were just going to take that week to get in the gym, rest up. What has it been like, kind of a long layup before you get back on the diamond?
It's been nice. I think it's been a really good reset for us. Everybody's not under pressure to perform, for a few days, and we haven't had that since, early February. So I think it's been really good for our group as a whole, and like I said, we'll be ready. I think we're in a good spot.
Mapping out pitching for a regional is always a difficult proposition. Just what are you prepared for your role on this week?
I'll be prepared for anything. They haven't told me specifically, but I would imagine being in the bullpen, ready to, close out a game, maybe get in there early, but whatever we need, I'll be ready to do.
You guys have played a competitive non-conference schedule very successfully. How does that help you going into this weekend with teams coming in here looking to knock you off?
I think one of the good things about our early schedule was we didn't get a break. We didn't have that one off weekend where we can just relax or show up to the ballpark and be like, we can just show up and win because we're more talented than the other team. Whenever we played Wright State or Indiana State, who's hosting, or at Elon in a raucous crowd, everybody had to be focused to play. So we've never taken a game all year long where it's like, we can relax. So we're going to be ready for every postseason game because we play, 100% every single game.
Was it a relief last night seeing that you guys were officially a host site? It's kind of a finally, or what are the emotions that you guys go through these couple days?
There was about a 10-second time where I was refreshing the NCAA baseball page where my heart was beating a little fast. So seeing that pop up was definitely refreshing. It's been, a guess if we're going to host or not for the whole season, really, ever since that weekend against Mississippi State, like I was talking about earlier. And to be able to see our name called and get this chance is exciting, for everybody.
Are you a guy who's in tune with projections and metrics and whatnot? Were you keeping up with that stuff?
Big Twitter guy, yeah. I mean, I've read a lot. So it's nice to know who we're playing now, for sure.
You might be the oldest player in this tournament.
Probably. It's me or that kid from Alabama that I faced the other night. He's 25 too. So,
Yeah. What about, though, you mentioned earlier the grind, the workouts, but you're a Kentucky kid. You made the decision to transfer. You always wanted to play here, and you helped get this team here. What are your emotions like now in that regard?
Really proud. I grew up a diehard Kentucky fan, baseball and basketball. My favorite Kentucky basketball player ever was Darius Miller. glue guy for the 2012 team, went to Mason County, and not the star player on the national championship team, but an all-time glue guy. And so to be up there mentioned with Darius Miller as that kind of player back home for this program is so special. It means the world.
You feel like you're a glue guy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Coach Cal might need some help later on. You think you might be available?
I can get one more year of eligibility playing a different sport, and I got a hell of a jump shot. So,
So you checked.
Oh, I know that. I know that.
Is there a point of emphasis for the pitching staff, just in general, going into postseason play? Something you guys are wanting to kind of hone in on? And
I think just do what we do as a pitching staff, what Coach Rozelle has ingrained in us. Controlling the run game. I know me and Coach have already talked about West Virginia is huge in stealing bases, so we're going to have to control the run game every single game really well. Can't walk people. We got to attack every single player, every single hitter, right off the bat. Can't fall behind in counts. I think just stick to the basics of what we do as a team, that's as a pitching staff, and what it's helped us do all year long is be in every single ball game. So.
You talked about earlier this season, nobody really being at that Mississippi State game, but as the wins kept coming in, more fans started to roll in here as the season went on. How has that helped you guys get acclimated to just having a more packed KPP as you get ready for these type of games?
Weather helps too with that. We've had some really nice nights out here where 4,000 or 5,000 people are here. It's exciting. We played in front of big crowds, Big Blue Nation. They're exciting. They're excited for baseball, and it's fun to see. I fed off that energy on senior night for sure, and they're going to bring that for all the rest of the guys this week.
Kentucky Proud Park has never hosted postseason baseball. What does it mean to be a part of making that history, and then what would it mean to continue that?
It's one of the first things I talked about with Coach Minch on whenever I got here is the summer of 21. Right after I committed was what it takes to host a regional here and be that first team to host a regional here, and I'm really proud to do it. It's going to be really exciting. I know a lot of my friends have already hit me up talking about game times and tickets and stuff like that, so a lot of excitement for the community, and I think they're going to show out for us.
Talk a little more about how you all can feed off of that energy from the fans, because again, the program's been successful. This is just another step, another chapter as far as what you guys bring to the table. Talk about how that fan support and packing this place will really help.
Yeah, it's really nice because you play on raucous environments on the road, and you got everybody in the building against you. And I can speak from experience when people are rooting for you and behind you. When there's 2 strikes, you tend to make a better pitch. When you're in the box and you got 2 strikes on you, you're more likely to get a hit and make things happen and shake things up. So I think the guys are going to really be excited to play, not just because it's the NCAA tournament, but because they have a raucous crowd behind them, and we're pretty pumped up to play. It's going to be a really exciting week.
it'll be a while since you guys have played. So do you think there'll be some kind of nervous energy or wanting to get back out there and do your thing? And could playing the first game be a good thing? You're the
whenever we play, it's going to be a good thing. I'm pumped to be in it. Nervous energy, I don't think so. I think more excitement because we haven't played in a few days. We've just inter-squatted, and you do that all fall, all preseason, so you can really get tired of playing each other. So we're going to be ready to play for sure. There's going to be some really excited guys.
Half the host sites are in the SEC. How much did that gauntlet prepare you guys for the postseason?
I think you see that historically with how the SEC has done in postseason play going back the last 10 years. How many teams have been to Omaha from the SEC, how many national champions there are. There's no other gauntlet like it at our level in the sport. There's not an off day on a weekend. There's no easy weekend. It doesn't matter if you're playing the 14th ranked team in the SEC. So we play top competition. Our weekend starters have faced great lineups. Our bullpen arms have faced great, stars at every single team. And we're ready to play postseason baseball because we've played the best all year long.
How did the teams you played before SEC play help you? Because we're watching that bracket reveal today, and there's just team after team popping up that you've already seen and kind of tested yourselves.
I think it helped us get ready for SEC play. You saw the start that we had in SEC play, and it's because we didn't have an off weekend where we could relax. It was constant, having to play your best ball at the very beginning of the year, and it was great for our team.
Coach Minge is going to come out here and talk to us about how great teammates you guys are. You're a good person to ask this because you've been a teammate forever, but what is really special about this particular team this year?
Man, this team's selfless. Like Coach Minge says it all the time to you guys, I'm sure. But really, this team just cares about winning. It's a lot of dudes from the transfer portal, you know, from here originally, been here for a few years, that just want to win. And right now, all that matters is winning. A few games here and getting on to next weekend, extending the season one more week. So it's 27 dudes who want to go all in to win. It doesn't matter if they're playing or not. If they're not playing, they're rooting on their teammates as hard as possible and firing the boys up to play.
And you sense that that's above and beyond what you usually feel on other teams? Or?
I've been on 10th place teams in my conference before. I can tell you it's different. No doubt about it. The winning culture that we have right now, that we've made in the last year or two since the last 2 years since I've been here, is unbelievable. And that's a test to not just the guys in the locker room now, but the guys in the locker room last year that helped us with that run.
Thanks, Darren.